Well, what a game, and what a debut for Cameron Carr in a Lakers uniform. No, it wasn't the NBA and it wasn't even preseason yet, but in his very first Summer League game, Cameron Carr put on a show. In fact, he might have been the only player on the entire Lakers Summer League roster who actually looked impressive. In just 24 minutes, Carr exploded for 19 points, along with 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, and eye-catching 5 made 3-pointers. He finished 5 of 11 from deep, shooting an impressive 45.5% from beyond the arc. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. And compared to everyone else on the roster, he was easily the biggest standout. Maybe Arthur Kaluma had a few good moments. But outside of that, Cameron Carr was the only player who consistently looked good. Everyone else either looked like they didn't belong on the court, weren't ready for the moment, seemed out of shape, or simply couldn't hit a shot. Carr was the only guy who looked a level above everyone else. His shooting motion looked completely effortless. Whenever he got the ball, he'd take a quick sidestep to create space or use a simple pump fake, wait for the defender to fly by, and then calmly knock down the shot. It looked way too easy. He hit 5 threes and started the game either 3 for 3 or maybe even 4 for 4, whatever the exact number was. He came out on fire and made it look like nobody on the Lakers could keep up with him. After watching the film, there's a lot to like about Cameron Carr offensively. I mean, 19 points in just 24 minutes and 5 made 3-pointers speak for themselves. There really isn't much to complain about. What stood out even more was how easy he made everything look. Every time he caught the ball, he looked calm and in control, unlike almost everyone else on the Lakers roster, who seemed rushed and out of sync. On this play in the first quarter, he scored both his first points and the team's first points by coming off a pin-down screen from William Kyle 3. He caught the ball in the corner, stayed composed even with a defender right in his face, and rose up for the shot, just like he showed in college. He got incredible lift thanks to his reported 43. The 44-inch vertical, elevated over the defender, and confidently knocked down the 3. Then on the very next trip down the floor, we have Alex Caruso. Just kidding. It's actually John Elmore driving into the lane and kicking the ball back out to Cam Carr, who creates just a little bit of space. But that's all he needs. He simply rises up, gets great elevation, and knocks down another 3 with ease. That's the kind of shooter he is. Now imagine Luka Dončić making that same play. Instead of attracting 1 or 2 defenders like Elmore did here, Luka would probably pull in 3 defenders, maybe even the entire defense, creating even more wide-open looks for Cameron Carr. That's the scary part of his potential fit with the Lakers. At this point, Cameron Carr can definitely fill that role. Playing off the ball is absolutely no problem for him. His shooting motion is effortless. He can catch and shoot, or catch the ball and create his own shot with 1 or 2 dribbles. A simple sidestep or pump fake is all he needs before letting it fly. Then, a few possessions later, he showed off his mid-range game as well. Coming off a pin-down screen from Anton Watson, Carr got just a little bit of space, caught the pass, took 1 dribble, rose up with that incredible elevation, and knocked down the jumper. Again, it doesn't take much for him. Give Cam Carr even a tiny bit of separation, and you're probably not recovering in time. He's quick, explosive with the ball, and because he gets so high on his jump shot, good luck trying to block it, bother it, or even get a proper contest on it. After knocking down a few shots, Cameron Carr definitely started getting the full attention of the defense. But even then, it didn't seem to bother him. On 1 possession, he used a simple shot fake, got the defender to bite, took a quick sidestep, and calmly buried another 3. It looked way too easy. He catches the ball, stays confident, and never seems riled by defenders flying at him. He doesn't need a bunch of flashy dribble moves or some complicated isolation package to create space. He simply stays poised, calm, and under control while still being efficient. Unlike most of the Lakers Summer League roster, he never looked sped up. He didn't care about defenders rotating or closing out hard. He just kept finding ways to get his shot off and consistently took the most efficient look available to him. A few possessions later, it's honestly hard to figure out what Golden State was thinking on this one. They simply left Cameron Carr completely wide open. In fact, Carr himself looked a little surprised by it. Standing alone in the corner, he almost hesitated because he probably expected a defender to be there. But once he got his feet set, it was over. He calmly let the shot fly and buried yet another 3-pointer. It might have been the easiest basket of the entire night, and leaving the hottest shooter on the floor, that open was a terrible mistake by Golden State. After that, Cameron Carr gave us a little glimpse of his defensive potential by recording his lone block of the game. He showed off his quick feet and ability to defend on the perimeter against Will Richard, who had completely caught fire by that point. Carr stayed locked in, moved with him step for step, and when Richard tried to create space with a step-back 3, he probably forgot that Carr has a massive 7-foot, 1 wingspan, and elite athleticism. Carr stayed with the play, anticipated the move, recovered quickly, and blocked the shot right at the 3-point line. It was a very, very impressive defensive possession. And honestly, even beyond the 3-point shooting and the 19 points in just 24 minutes, that's the play I keep coming back to, not even because he got the block, but because he was able to stay in front of his man the entire time. More importantly, he was doing it against an NBA-caliber player. Well, Richard already proved during his rookie season that he can be a rotation player, shoot the ball well, and play efficiently. So that's a big moment for Cameron Carr. I think most people already believed in his athleticism and speed from his college days and expected it to translate to summer league. But seeing him use those tools against a legitimate NBA role player is a huge positive. It's another step in the right direction and gives Lakers fans even more reason to be excited about his potential. But before we get too deep into the breakdown, let me tell you about Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America. It's simple. You just pick more or less on your favorite players and submit your lineup. For this weekend, I got Joey Chestnut, the king of hot dog eating himself, finishing with more than 0.5 hot dogs eaten, which feels like the easiest pick ever. Then I got Shohei Ohtani putting up more than a 3.5 hitter fantasy score. So if you want to ride with my picks or create your own lineup, be sure to download the app, use code HMA, and get $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Now, getting back to the game, Cameron Carr did something that almost nobody else on the Lakers did. He actually played his role, and not just any role, but the exact one the Lakers probably wanted to fill on the NBA roster. He played off the ball, took his shots when they were there, didn't pass up good looks, didn't try to do too much, and stayed calm, poised, and under control. He shot when he needed to, played solid defense, and looked exactly like the kind of 3 and D player every team wants. And the scary part is that he probably has even more to his game. If he wanted to, he could have forced the issue more, pushed the pace, over-dribbled, and try to create extra offense for himself. But unlike most young players, he didn't feel the need to prove anything and simply played winning basketball. But he didn't do any of that. He never went out of his way to force the action. He probably had a serious conversation with the Lakers about exactly what they want from him and what role he'll have on the team. So he stuck to it, even though he was easily. So, what do you think? Did the Lakers just find a hidden gem in Cameron Carr? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Lakers content.